Okay, I'm going to dive straight into the first question. Should you be raising your prices right now in the new year? All the prices of ingredients are going up. How do you deal with raising your prices in your home bakery? It's super important to do this. I know that it feels terrible. We hate raising our prices because we keep thinking of the way that we spend money, right? We think, well, I wouldn't want to pay for something that's more expensive, so none of my customers will want to. But it's a normal thing in every business to raise your prices. I mean, if you go to the grocery store, you see all the time that the prices are higher. Did they need to send out an email notifying everyone, apologizing sincerely that they're raising their prices? No, they just do it. They just raise their prices, and so do you. You also need to do the same thing, because just as plants need money to grow, plants need water to grow and survive. Businesses need money to grow and survive. It's not about being greedy. It's not about milking your clients for profits. It's not about manipulating them or taking advantage of them at all. If you want to stay in business, you need to raise your prices. It's simple as that. I have a very lengthy blog post that's going to help you to deal with all of the insecurity and the awkwardness and the guilt you feel regarding raising your prices. For that, you can just go to my profile. If you're watching on Instagram, go to my profile, click the link in my bio and go to Home Bakery Day links. If you're watching on YouTube, then just get the link below the video. There's a long blog post with all the links that you could possibly need to help your home bakery business to grow. Cool. Welcome to Home Bakery Day. It's nice to see everyone here. It's the first one for 2022. Where you get to ask all of your home bakery business questions so that you can get consistent orders and a stable income. I have a whole list of questions that home bakers asked in advance, so I'm quickly going to go through them, and hopefully there will be time to address your questions as well. You're welcome to ask them so long. Just make sure that you leave a question mark at the end, and then it will go automatically to my question box, and then I'll get to them right at the end. Great, so I'm quickly going to go through a list of the questions we're covering today. How do I get out into the community to get more orders? I'm losing my motivation to post on Instagram. How do I fix this? How do I stand out from the millions of home bakers in my area? And then there's a question related to that one. How do I deal with competition? I'm intimidated that there are other well-established bakers in my area, and I'm concerned that my cookie prices are too expensive. I'm fond of sweets. Next question. I'm fond of sweets, but I worry that I'll consume more sweets if I start baking regularly. This is a great question. That's going to be fun to answer. Next question. My cakes keep sliding when I stack them with buttercream. How do I ice straight cakes? Next one. I'm struggling to knuckle down and just do my finances. Next one. I'm trying to sell items after they're baked instead of taking custom orders. Do you have any marketing suggestions? And then another question, I'm a pastry chef, but I'm still afraid of opening my home bakery. Do you have any advice? Isn't that shocking? Someone who has a pastry qualification, which we would think is the badge of honor that you need to have confidence in yourself, still struggles with confidence. So if you struggle with confidence, I'm going to really help you out today. Right, we're going to get to that later. Next question, clients is asking you for cakes with fillings that include ingredients that you don't work with. And the last question, how do I respond to people coming to my social media and promoting themselves? Woo! Okay, cool. So let's get into question number 2. How do I get out into the community and get more orders? Okay. The way you get more orders is not by, well, you can get them by putting lots of money in the game and putting adverts in newspapers or on Google or on Facebook or Instagram, all kinds of ads, but you don't have to do this. It's not essential to get a successful home bakery business. I like to separate marketing and advertising in my head. That really helps a lot. Marketing is about all the things that you do and say in your business that attracts people to your business on autopilot. It's the way that you structure your website. It's how you speak on social media. It's how that you use all these tools that you have, because social media, for example, is just a lifeless tool. It can't do anything in itself. It depends on how you use it. And it's the same thing with a website. Merely having a website does not guarantee that you will get orders. It's about how you use it. Just being on social media doesn't guarantee that you'll get orders. It's about how you use it. And that's where you need to understand where marketing comes in. I've got a long blog post to help you about marketing, the 4 essential home bakery marketing tips that you need to know. You can get that in the link in my profile, and if you're watching on YouTube, the link is below this video. It's extremely important to understand how your customers think, how they think about your business. They don't think about your business the same way you do. You have to understand what makes them buy things, and that's what marketing is all about. And marketing is free because words are free. You can use the words on your website for free. You can post things on social media for free. You don't have to spend money on ads. You absolutely don't have to. If you are not getting orders in your business as it is, you probably won't get more orders with ads. Okay, ads only amplify what you are already doing in your business. So it's completely unavoidable. You need to learn about marketing, but marketing is not complicated and boring. I used to avoid it like the plague. I did not want to read marketing books. My husband kept passing me all these books, and I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's going to get better. I'm praying for God to send me customers. It's going to be fine. And not that, that God can't send you customers. He can do that. But I've learned over time that getting orders is not about luck. It's not about God blessing you. It's not about any of those things. Business is a science. If you jump in water, you will get wet. If you put your hand on a hot stove plate, you will burn. And if you don't use effective marketing strategies, you won't get orders. It's just a scientific thing. It's based on the human brain. And if you can understand how people make buying decisions, then you're going to have a much easier time in your business. So go to the link in my profile, click on Home Bakery Day links, and then go to the post about marketing, the 4 essential marketing tips for home bakeries. And if you're watching on YouTube, then just get the link below this video. Cool. And of course, it does help to be more integrated in your community. If you've moved to a new town or city, for example, this often hits home bakers very hard because then they lose their customer base, right? It's extremely difficult. But what you can do is just to integrate yourself into the community as quickly as possible. You can go to a local church and find out if there's some kind of charity events going on. Get involved in those things. Check if there's a book club or a knitting club or a crochet club, whatever kind of hobbies you enjoy, or even a baking club, and start forming relationships with people. Like, for example, I'm in an aqua Pilates class, and after about a year of building friendships with these women, one day we started talking about cream cheese, and then I told them all kinds of cream cheese tips, and then they're like, how do you know all this? And I'm like, because I'm a baker. And then 2 women in the class ordered from me. So that's how it can work. But those things are based on relationship. You have to build trust with people first. So that's more of a long-term strategy. If you want to get results faster, then you will need to create a website with proper marketing techniques. You know where to find my marketing tips now. And you also need to work on your SEO. That stands for search engine optimization. Don't freak out. It's just a simple term that means the things that you do in your business to make Google like you, so that they will recommend your business to people. So you can search on Google for that. Just search for SEO tips. Okay, great. Now, next question. I'm losing my motivation to post on Instagram. How do I deal with this? Oh, darling, you are so not alone. All of us deal with this. Give me some hearts if you lose motivation to post on Instagram often. We all go through this, and it's important to note that motivation is not a requirement for posting on Instagram. You don't need to feel motivated to go to the loo every day, right? You don't need motivation to brush your teeth. You don't need motivation to do your laundry or to wash the dishes or whatever. You just do these things. Sometimes we'll procrastinate a bit and wait for it to get into a desperate situation before we actually move and do those things. But it's the same with social media posting. You don't have to wait for inspiration to strike, because then you might be waiting forever. It helps a lot to work these things into your routine. Same as, every morning you brush your teeth and every evening you brush your teeth. You just do it on autopilot because that's how you've structured your life, and it's important to do these things. In the same way, choose which days you're going to post on Instagram. Don't just post when you feel like it, because then you're going to not come up with great captions probably. It helps a lot to plan these things in advance. Like back in the day, when I was posting a lot, you'll see that I'm not posting a lot on Instagram now because I don't really want to grow my account more. But when I wanted to grow my account, then I posted twice a week, on Tuesdays and on Fridays. But I wrote both of these Instagram posts on a Sunday. When things were chill, I've just had the weekend off and I feel a lot more inspired. So then I write those things in advance. You can check out the app called Later, Later.com. It's a scheduling app. So in there, you can plan your Instagram posts in advance. You can even like move them around to see how your feed is going to look when you've posted those things. And then you can just hit a notification, flick a switch to get later to send you a notification when it's time to post. And then the caption copies automatically to your phone, and then you paste it all in there. It's super easy. So plan your posts in advance, write them in advance. Don't wait for inspiration and motivation to strike, because if you're going through a busy time, a tough time, I know there are lots of demands on your life with family and maybe even have a day job as well. There's a lot going on. So you need to plan. Otherwise, it's not going to happen and you're always going to feel unmotivated. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Next question, how do I stand out from the millions of home bakers in my area? And there's a related question. There's loads of competition. I'm intimidated that there are other well-established bakers in my area. Okay, this is super important. If you want to stand out, then you can't copy everyone else's baked goods. You can't just bake the typical things that you find on Instagram. I know that there are many trends in the baking world, but if you keep just baking the trends and keeping up with the trends, then you're always going to be a step behind. You're always going to be a step behind. Does that make sense? Because, you know, if everyone bakes the same things, then you won't stand out. I know that so many bakers try to work so hard on their skills so that they can replicate cakes that they see on Instagram, on Pinterest, etc. But that is how you get lost in the crowd. You will need to tap into your own unique creativity. The one thing that you can count on as being unique is you. Every single person is unique. So you need to tap into your own creativity. And a great tip I can give you is to stop policing your own creativity. I used to be, well, sometimes I still am. I'm sure that you know what it's like to have a very harsh inner critic and be perfectionistic. But all of those things really just put a rain cloud over your creativity. You need to give yourself permission to suck. You need to give yourself permission to experiment. Don't make your goal to create perfect cakes or perfect baked goods. Don't make that your goal. Make your goal to always keep learning and growing. And then you will find that you start to become more creative, and then you'll get better ideas, create more creative bakes, and that's how you stand out in the crowd. Another way to stand out is to have a niche. Now let me explain what a niche is. A niche is solving a specific problem relating to baked goods in your town or city that no one else is solving yet. Niching is not restricting. Saying I only bake cupcakes is not a niche. That is restriction. That's limiting what you do. Of course, niching can involve restriction. So say, for example, there's no one baking vegan cakes in your area yet, and that's really a problem that needs to be addressed. Then that is a proper niche. That is a proper niche if that's a need in your area. But then that will automatically involve restriction if it's vegan. Then you can't just bake anything. Then you can only bake vegan recipes. But do you understand the difference? You need to focus on a problem that your home bakery is solving in your area. If you say, I bake anything for any occasion, like other home bakers do, then you will get lost in the crowd. If you try to please everyone, then you end up pleasing no one. You need to solve specific problems with your baking, because then people will suddenly need you. Then you will stand out. Like in my home bakery, for example, my niche is not I only bake cupcakes, or I only bake layer cakes, or I only bake brownies. That's not a niche, that's restriction. My niche, for example, is flavor-focused home baking. So what often happens in the baking world is that you get all these baked goods that look so much better than they taste. They are beautiful. They have all kinds of amazing figurines on them and so much detail. It's gorgeous and you can stare at it all day long. It's very impressive. But when you taste it, it's dry. It's overly sweet because there's sugar syrup on everything, and it's just not a great texture, and there's no flavor. It's lacking. They baked the cake like 5 days ago because they needed 5 days to make all of these fancy decorations, right? That's why flavor is my focus, and that's why I promote flavor obsessed baking on my Instagram and on my website and on my blog and all of these things, because it's something I truly believe in. It's a problem in the baking world, and it's not okay. Baked goods should taste even better than they look. We don't eat with our eyes, we eat with our mouths at the end of the day. Let's get scientific and realistic here. So focus, try and figure out You know, look at the baking scene in your town or in your city, and think, what is bothering me about this? Is there any gap that in the market that I can fill? Is there any blind spots that the other bakers have that I can make up for and help my customers in this area? That's something you need to do in your business as soon as possible. You can't just bake anything for any occasion. Then you are going to get lost in the crowd, because most home bakers bake anything for any occasion. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. If you want to learn how to define your niche, I've got a great little free guide to help you with that. You can get the guide by signing up for my free resource library for home bakers. You can check the link below this video if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're on Instagram, then just go to my profile and then you'll see a link there in my bio. Click that link and then you'll get a little link for signing up to the free resource library. Cool. Right, next question. I'm fond of sweets and worry that I'll consume more sweets if I start baking regularly. This is such a great question. Okay, so my mom's a dietitian, and I grew up being very, very calorie conscious. I was extremely calorie conscious. So it was very hard for me the first couple of years. I would have this giant bucket of chopped chocolates because I made brownies all the time. So then it's easier to just chop a bunch of chocolates in advance. I actually employed someone to do that for me. And then I can just chuck the chocolates into the pot when I'm melting it, etc. But this pot of chocolate kept calling my name all day long, this bucket of chopped chocolate that I had. And I just couldn't leave it alone. I kept snacking, started breaking out, terrible things. But there's an account on Instagram, a dear woman, her name is Rini Fry. She's helped me tremendously. I was in the privileged position of following her when she didn't have that many followers yet. She only had about 12,000 followers. Now she's got like hundreds of thousands. Crazy. Her account really blew up over time. But her account's name is Own It Babe. Own It Babe. Go check her out. She helped me so much to break my mindsets around restriction. Because when you tell yourself a certain type of food is off limits, you know, the whole day I told myself, I'm not allowed to eat this chocolate. I'm not allowed to eat this chocolate. No, bad Aurelia, bad Aurelia. Then you start obsessing over it. For example, don't think about a slice of chocolate cake. Obviously, you're going to think about chocolate cake when I say that. When we create restriction, then our mind fixates on it and we become obsessed with it. So the first step for me to stop binging on chocolate the whole time was to just not tell myself the whole time that it's off limits. To tell myself I can have as much of it as I want all day long. And then within like 2 days, I wasn't craving it anymore. It's weird how it works. It's all just psychological stuff. But you can check out Own It Babe. She's got amazing posts on there. And also, you know, being overweight is not the worst thing in the world. It's not a crime. It's not like you murdered someone. So I've learned over time to just relax a bit as well. I don't have to be a size 2 or a size 0 or whatever. It's about, you know, it's about the person is on the inside. What is their what's their character like? Those are the important things. So don't be scared about picking up weight in your home bakery. If that does happen, you are still the same person. But if you are concerned about, you know, long-term health effects, then check out Own It Babe. It helps a lot to know how to stop restricting and punishing yourself and all of those things. Then you can just relax, and then the cravings eventually go away if you stop telling yourself it's off limits. Okay, I hope that's helpful. That was quite an honest sharing. Yes. Okay, cool. Next question. My cakes keep sliding when I stack them with buttercream. How do I ice straight cakes? It sounds like your buttercream is too soft, if I'm guessing here. That's tip number 1. If it's too soft, then it is going to slide. It's not going to have like adhesive properties. So that's very important. Make sure that you not using a buttercream recipe that has too much butter in it, because then if you're in a hot climate especially, then things will start slipping and sliding, and then it becomes very challenging. So you can try looking into something like Italian meringue buttercream. That's a bit more stable at hot temperatures because there's egg whites in it as well. Or you can check on my profile. There's my ultimate vanilla frosting does not contain any butter at all, and it's quite stable at hot temperatures. Once the outer layer has dried out a bit, it's not a hard sitting frosting, but once the outside layer has dried out a little bit, then it won't melt. Even in high temperatures, I'm talking like 40 degrees plus Celsius, because that's how hot it gets sometimes in Cape Town. On our wedding day, it was 43 degrees Celsius, and the frosting still held its shape. So that's awesome. You can check that out in my profile, or link below the video if you're watching on YouTube. But another thing that could contribute to cakes sliding, cake layers sliding when you're icing it, is maybe your cakes aren't level. You need to have level cakes if you want to stack them. Level cake layers. There is a blog post that I shared a while back about how to bake perfectly level cake layers without needing to trim off heaps of cake. You can find that link in my profile in the Home Bakery Day links block, or you can, check the link below this video if you're on YouTube. But that's a great tip, is just to make sure that your cakes are level. Otherwise, if you'll just need to trim them. If you don't want to use a baking strip around the outside, baking strips help a lot to get a perfectly level rise on your cakes. So you don't need to trim anything off. But yes, the buttercream is a big thing. What you can also do is to chill your cake layers before you start stacking them. Then it will help to not let the buttercream warm up between the cake layers as you are stacking them. I usually like to place my cake layers in the freezer for about 30 minutes before I start stacking them. It doesn't freeze them solid, it just makes them colder so that the frosting in between doesn't warm up as I'm stacking the layers. Hope that's helpful. Next question. I'm struggling to knuckle down and do my finances. This is very similar to the I don't have motivation to post on Instagram. It's not about waiting for inspiration to strike before you do these things in your business. It's just part of our job. We have to do our finances. It's just part of the deal. This is what it means to be a home bakery owner. We need to do our finances. What you can do, though, is to make it as fun as possible for yourself. Don't make it this terrible thing like, oh, I have to do my finances. Then you're going to have a terrible experience. If you think beforehand, you know what, this is going to be fun. I'm going to do it as efficiently and quickly as possible. Make your favorite beverage, put on your favorite songs, and then, have a short little dance party before you do your finances, and then get into it. Get down and do it. But don't make it such a dramatic thing for yourself. What you can also do is to add a specific date and time on your calendar. This is a brilliant tip from Amy Porterfield. She always says, it's not real unless it's on your calendar. I love that line. So pick a specific date, specific time, put it on your calendar to do your finances, and then tell everyone in your family, guys, this is the day and time I'm doing my finances, and make it part of your routine. Like for me, every Friday after my clients collected their orders, I do my finances. So then I don't have to think about like, oh, when am I going to do my finances? I don't want to do it. I just have it in my routine. I have it on my calendar, and then I do it. And of course, yes, great beverage, nice songs in the background, and then do it. Another tip that helps is to set a timer for yourself. Usually, you can actually get a lot of stuff done in 10 minutes if you commit to setting, to only doing work for 10 minutes and not having the option to check your phone or whatever. This is a tip I got from Courtney from the Bakery Tea Co. She sets a timer for 10 minutes, and then she does as much as she can in that time, whether it's house cleaning or, prepping stuff for baking or whatever it is. So set a timer for yourself for 15 minutes, like for the next 15 minutes, you're doing your finances. After that, you can do whatever you want. You can relax, you can, do fun things or whatever, but set a timer for yourself. That also helps a lot. Let me just see, someone said here something about finances. Regarding finances, if you use a software program, once you enter the information, you can then run reports. It makes it easier. Yes, definitely. That's part of it. I think the main problem here was that they don't feel motivated to put their information and their data into the program. You get amazing programs nowadays. I like to use Google Sheets, but you get all kinds of fancy financial programs as well. If you want to get all my templates for doing your finances, then if you're watching on YouTube, check the link below this video. There's a link to my Confident Pricing and Profit Kit where all my templates are included. It's a short little course about finances. And if you're watching on Instagram, then also just go to my profile, click, go to the courses button, and then you will see it over there. Okay, next question. I'm trying to sell items after they're baked instead of taking custom orders. Do you have any marketing suggestions? Oh goodness, it's very risky to bake things in advance and then try to sell them. I have a policy in my home bakery to only bake things that have already been paid for. Otherwise, you can end up with heaps of waste. and that is not a fun place to be. With custom orders, you bake to order. So you can use that same system. If you are not baking custom cakes, that's fine. Then just still let people order in advance, pay in advance, and then you bake it for them. That's a much better way to do it. And I spoke about marketing tips earlier. There's a blog post, the 4 essential tips for marketing your home bakery business. You can, as you know where the links are below the video or in my profile. Okay. Next question, how do I get customers to order consistently? Someone asked that earlier, and I saw someone else ask it now in the chat as well. Getting consistent orders comes down to 2 things. First of all, you have systems and strategies in place to bring new customers in. And secondly, you have systems and strategies in place to turn once-off customers into regular ones. That's what you need to do to get consistent orders. Systems and strategies to bring in new clients, systems and strategies to get people to order again. Okay. The way that you get people to the way you bring in new customers, I explained that earlier, is to get an effective website with effective marketing techniques. Just having a website does not guarantee orders. You need it to be an effective website with effective marketing language. The best book I can recommend for this is Building a Story Brand. The best marketing book of all time. It's brilliant. There's a link in my profile with the books that you can read to grow your business, and this is the main one. If you just read one book to help your home bakery business, it's this one, Building a Story Brand. They talk about marketing, talk about how the human brain works. You need to understand this stuff if you want a successful business. Okay, that's the best tip I can give you today. Read Building a Story Brand. The link is my profile. For Home Bakery Day links, there's a whole blog post I wrote about the best books you can read to grow your business. And if you're watching on YouTube, then the link will be below this video. Okay, next question. I'm a pastry chef, but I'm still afraid of opening my home bakery. Any advice? Okay, this is so fascinating because when I started my business, like I don't have any baking qualifications. I don't even have any business qualifications. But the beauty of a home bakery business and of the food industry in general is people don't care if you have a qualification or not. They really just don't care. I mean, when's the last time you went to a restaurant and asked the waiter, sorry waiter, can I please see the chef's credentials? I need to see his credentials before I order. No one cares. If it tastes great, then that's all we care to know. So, we're not in law or medicine. You don't need a degree in any kind of pastry or chefing or in business to have a successful home bakery business. Not at all. All these skills you can learn. But yes, with this question, she's a pastry chef, but she's still afraid of opening her home bakery business. Fear is a fascinating thing. It creates all these hypothetical scenarios of what if. It's just your brain that's trying to protect you. And the quickest and easiest way your brain can do that is to make sure you don't go for anything new. To just stay within the bounds that it understands, because then you have this illusion of control. But fear, just because we're afraid of something doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. Okay? For example, I was scared when I got married, and so was my husband. We were scared. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. There are so many marriages that fail nowadays. So, who says we're going to make it? We were scared beforehand. But we knew that it was worth it to give this a shot because we love each other. And we have such a wonderful marriage. I'm so grateful for it. It's taken hard work. It hasn't been easy, but it's been one of the biggest blessings of my life. And with your home bakery, it's probably going to be the same thing. I was also petrified before I started a business. I'm scared right now as I'm doing this live. Just being afraid of something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Think about what you really want. Do you want to have a home baking business? Do you want to bake for a living? Do you want baking to be your career? Do you want to be able to work from home? Is that what you want? Then make decisions according to that. If you keep making decisions according to fear, you're going to remain in your current circumstances for the rest of your life. And I don't want that for you. I'm sure that you don't want that for yourself either. You don't have to be fearless to start a business. It's okay if you're scared. You don't have to wait until every little drop of fear disappears from your from your mind or your heart before you start a business. Be scared and start anyway. That's fine. You can be scared and start anyway. Fear is not a sign that you shouldn't do this. Fear is just a sign that you are human. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Fear is not a sign that you shouldn't start a baking business. Fear is just a sign that you're human. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't take your fear so seriously. Okay, it's going to stop you from getting the stuff that you really want in life. Okay, next question. This is the last one, by the way. You can add your questions in here. Please let me know what your questions are, and I'll then answer the last question quickly. Okay, how do you respond to people coming to your social media profile and promoting themselves? First of all, I'm so sorry that you're experiencing this. That's extremely rude. I can't believe people do this. It's so shocking. Coming to your profile and then promoting themselves. What I would do is to always believe the best and not assume the worst about people. Maybe they are in a very desperate situation and they urgently need orders, or else they're not going to make rent this month or something like that. And that's why they are doing this. So don't just assume that they are terrible, awful, horrible people. Home bakers stick together. We always believe the best about each other. Okay, so what you can do is to reach out to them on Instagram DMs and be friendly. Say, hi there, I see that you've recently commented on one of my posts. It's nice to meet you. And then say, like, I noticed that you were promoting your own business in the comments. Could I kindly please ask you to not do that? Being diplomatic is hard. Yeah, just I kindly ask that you please don't do this. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and then your name. So that's a great way you can diffuse the situation. And if they still keep doing it, then just delete their comments. And if they still keep doing it, then rather just block them. Okay, that's the last resort. And don't talk badly about them on Instagram like this, what's this person's problem? Why are they so selfish in promoting their business on my profile? Don't do anything like that. It's just going to make your business look worse. Okay, so rather handle it personally, person to person, DM them, sort it out there. Don't do it in public. All right. Last resort is to block them. There's actually one more question. Clients asking you for cakes with fillings that include ingredients that you don't work with. This comes down to setting boundaries for your clients. If you leave it open and you say, I bake anything for any occasion, then you're going to run into this all the time, where people ask you to bake things that you don't want to or just don't do. You need to be clear with people what you do and what you don't bake. For example, on my home bakery's website, on the About page and on the Order page, I have a section where I explain what I do and what I don't do. It helps people to know what you don't do, and then you can just refer them to someone else. And you can also, if you do custom cakes, then have some kind of system that you explain on your website where you tell people these are the flavors that you can choose from. And then they know, okay, those are the flavors I can choose from. Don't leave it open-ended, because then you are going to get people requesting things that you don't want to work with. Okay. Let's see. Someone asked questions here. What would be a great topic to do for a first live? You could decorate something, or bake something, have a bake along of some sort if you want to do that. But you don't have to do Instagram lives. You honestly don't have to. I would not recommend this for a home bakery business. You're going to get much further if you just do reels and posts. That's going to work a lot better. You can check out Lindsay from @theflowergirl_. She does brilliant reels. She's so inspiring just to see how much content she pushes out. Don't fall into comparison. Whenever you look at someone that's better than you, just see that as an example of what's possible for you. That's how I look at those kind of accounts. But you don't have to do a live. You really don't have to. It's going to not really have a great effect for your business. It's not worth it for the return that you get. Rather do reels or Instagram posts. That's much better for home bakery businesses. Okay, how do you get over comparison? There we go. To other bakers who are more skilled. Sometimes I feel like I'm shortchanging my clients because I'm not an expert, or the finish wasn't perfect as the picture. Okay, comparison is a fascinating thing because it's only as real as you make it to be. comparison is not really a thing in its own. It's a thing that exists in your mind and your perception of life. I already gave a tip just now for how to deal with comparison. When you look at someone that's a great baker, don't be like, oh, they're so great, I'm so terrible. Don't make it about you. Just think of, appreciate their artistry. They have worked their butts off to get that good, at what they're doing. They worked extremely hard. So don't think that they're born with it and you're not. Any skill can be learned over time. So see it as an inspiration for what's possible for you. Okay. When you look at someone that's an amazing decorator or an amazing baker, see it as inspiration for where you could be in the future. That should get you excited to see what's possible for you. And then, here's an important thing. Your customers don't look at your business the same way you do. They view it completely differently. Your customer only wants you to bake 10% better than they can for your baking to have value for them. They aren't putting up this giant investigation board in their room with all the different home bakers on little Polaroids, with pictures of everything they've done in the past, and to figure out who the most worthy home baker is to get my order. Your customers don't do that. They don't analyze and compare you the way that you analyze and compare yourself. They don't follow thousands of bakers online. They have no idea what all the other bakers are doing. The odds are very, very small. So don't let your self-worth as a baker be determined by how you see things, because your view doesn't matter. Your customers are paying for your baked goods. Their opinion matters way more than your own when it comes to comparison. All right. So don't go down that spiral. Here's another way to think about it. What is the ultimate result that you want in your home bakery business? What's your ultimate goal? Picture it for yourself. Do you want staff? Do you want, how many things do you want to bake per month or per week or per day? What kind of things do you want to bake? Picture your ideal home bakery scenario and what success looks like to you. Now, here's my question. Is comparison going to help you get there? No, probably not. So then you don't need comparison. It's an active choice that you have to make. You know what? My mind is going off into this comparison. I know that it's human and that it's normal, but it's not going to help me reach my goals. It's not helping me to become more confident. It's not helping me to put my best foot forward. It's not helping me to give my best as a home baker and business owner every day. So therefore, sorry comparison, I literally don't have time to fit you in. You are getting in the way of my goals. So there you go. You can sit on the shelf and I'll talk to you later or never. So yes, that's how you deal with comparison. Just think about what you want, and comparison gets in the way of that. So therefore, comparison is irrelevant. Okay, this is not something to apply in every area of your life. This is just in business. Okay, important little disclaimer. Okay, next question. Let's see. Okay. Someone says, looks like I need to update my website. Thanks, such great advice. You are most welcome. Look into SEO stuff as well. Remember, search engine optimization in your websites is so important. SEO is just about getting, doing little things on your website to make Google like you more so that they recommend your business to people. So look that up online as well. Any advice on how to make glazes and or buttercreams in states where they don't allow glazes made with real milk or butter? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm so sorry. I honestly never work with glazes, so I'm not the best person to ask here. I'm so sorry. I wish I could help you. But the best advice I have is just to search for vegan glaze recipes, because then it's not going to contain butter or milk. So maybe search for that. That's the best idea I have. Okay. Who did you mention a while back when you were speaking about restricting foods? Own It Babe. Rini Fry from Own It Babe. OWNITBABE. Own It Babe. Amazing account, and she helped me so much to change my mindsets about food and about not restricting myself, and that helped me to stop obsessing about food, and especially in my home bakery business. But another tip around that, like, I never have extras. I never bake extras. For example, I bake 12 cupcakes, but I sell cupcakes in batches of 12. I never have extras. I will bake something intentionally for the house sometimes, yes, but I sell things in the batches that they are baked in. So that's another way to avoid just having unnecessary sweets and treats and things in the house. Not that it's off limits, you know, if you want something, then bake it. Nice, eat it, tasty, enjoy. Right, let's see. Someone said, I have a glaze I use for scones that's made with water, powdered sugar, and vanilla. Yes, that's cool. That is a vegan version of a glaze. The only thing is it isn't necessarily going to be as shiny as a mirror glaze. It's probably going to go quite dull. So that's something to look out for. Okay, let's see what else there is. You're welcome to ask questions now. I'm going to sign off because we have people coming for dinner. And I just need to get ready for that. You guys are welcome. I'm so glad this is helpful. And yeah, that looks like the whole caboodle. I've recently I'm going to start sharing these on YouTube now as well, because there are some people in my audience that are hard of hearing and deaf, so I desperately want to include them. So I'm going to start uploading these little Q&As to YouTube as well. If you're watching on YouTube, hi and welcome. I'm Aurelia. If we haven't met before, that's very important, and I help home bakers that are flavor obsessed to get consistent orders so they never have to worry about a stable income. Right, and then just news of what's coming up. There is going to be a new masterclass soon. I cannot wait for you to watch this masterclass. It's a brand new one. It's epic. It's so good. The date is going to be on the 23rd of February, but I'll give you more information closer to the time. You will know. I will post on my Instagram and wherever when the registration is open. So stay tuned for that. And then, of course, at the end of the masterclass, I'll be opening the Home Bakery Pro course for the first time ever to the public. All my previous students got the upgrade for free when I changed it from Home Bakery Startup into Home Bakery Pro. But Home Bakery Pro is going to open to the public as well on the 23rd of Feb. And I am super, super excited to engage with home bakers who are committed to growing their home bakery business and getting consistent orders and being sold out in their home bakery. I can't wait to work with you guys if that's something you want to do soon. Okay, cool. I think that is it. So I am going to sign off now. I unfortunately don't do any eggless baking. There was another question someone asked about eggless baking. I don't do eggless baking. I'm so sorry. You can check out Fluff in a Cup. She has a fantastic, her name is Sarah. She has a great Instagram account with loads of eggless recipes. So check her out, Fluff in a Cup. Okay. Right. Thanks everyone. Thanks for hanging with me. And let me know what was your favorite takeaway from this video. If you're watching the replay, then let me know in the comments below what was your favorite takeaway, what really stood out to you, and then we can chat further. Okay, cool. I'll see you guys soon next week, same time, same place for Home Bakery Day, and have a great evening. Bye. Now I'm messing this up again in video.